It's getting near dawn when lights close the tired eyes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Sports Stop on WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to WSJU Radio, from the voice of St. John's University. This is the Sports Stop. With you, as always, well, not as always, since this is the first show, I am James Mitchell. Alongside me is Atticus George and Evan Maguire. Not Magoo, Maguire. So, we just talked about a little bit of the top stories, which included St. John's basketball, of course, upsetting Creighton last Sunday. Michael Sam coming out of the closet, going to be joining the NFL draft, could be the first openly gay player in the NFL. And Masahiro Tanaka officially signs as a New York Yankee. They had the presser yesterday. I'm sure it was entertaining to watch. Of course, Joe Girardi was excited. But now let's talk about what the world is watching. The 2014 Sochi Olympics. Of course, from Sochi, Russia. Of course, it's the Winter Olympics, even though it is sort of summery there. I think we just read, Evan, off of the Twitter, that it's actually warmer in Sochi than it is in L.A. right now.
And I actually read that it's actually warmer than the Summer Olympics, too.
Really?
I think it's been warmer than a few days in the Summer Olympics, so...
That's incredible. I mean, it is. Last year was London, or 2 years ago was London, which is notoriously cold and cloudy.
And rainy and things like that, yeah.
Seattle, essentially.
Yeah, but, I mean, Sochi is, I think, actually a very nice summer vacationing spot for the Russians.
They have palm trees there.
They do.
It is a resort town during the summer.
If you told that to the Olympians, then they'd laugh at you because they wouldn't believe that. Because of all the problems that the hotels have been causing for the Olympians. I know Johnny Quinn, the bobsledder for the United States, he was stuck in his bathroom. So he, busted through the door. And then, the next day, he was stuck in the elevator.
Did he get stuck in the elevator?
Yeah, he got stuck in the elevator the next day.
That's incredible. I saw the door. I didn't see the elevator.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Using the Packer football moves to break through that door.
Oh yeah, former Packer great, played in about 4 preseason games with them a few years ago. But now he's an Olympian. He could win. Of course, he's not likely, but he very well could win the gold medal.
It's a pretty good trade-off.
For bobsledding, of course. So, I mean, I'm sure he's excited, along with all the other Olympians. Like we said in the news, the medal count for the United States, I believe, has 7. Yep, 7.
It's very interesting right now because when you look at the medal count, Germany overall is in 8th place for total medals with 6, but they have 5 golds. They have the most golds. They don't have a single bronze yet either. They have 5 golds, 1 silver. The Germans only strive for excellence.
I guess so. It's either go win or go home for the Germans.
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but we won't. But a few Americans have been disappointing. Of course, Shaun White was going for his 3rd straight gold medal last night. Well, yesterday.
Fell a little short.
Fell a little short. He came in 4th place. Didn't even make the podium. Actually, no American made the podium.
No, we finished 4th, 10th, and 15th.
Yeah, 4th, 10th, and 15th. First time ever that American didn't make the podium on the snowboard halfpipe.
And a lot of the competitors were complaining about the halfpipe because of the temperatures.
Yeah.
It was saying
slushy and bumpy.
Slushy, very ruddy on the bottom of the halfpipe. I mean, I was watching them. They brought out some powerful hose, and they were flooding the halfpipe with water to try and freeze it, so these riders can have a good halfpipe. And I don't want to use that as an excuse, but
yeah, I mean, Shaun White was complaining about it a lot this week, but yesterday after his qualifying, he said they did a perfect job. The halfpipe
qualified one, so
exactly. So I mean, he in his post-game interview, he didn't really blame the half pipe.
No, he was. I felt like he was more just happy that for the competitors that did well. I mean, his buddy iPod as his nickname.
Yes.
Yuri I can't say his last name.
No, it's an impossible last name. He was born in Russia,
Yeah.
but now he snowboards under the Swiss flag.
Yes, but I mean they're good friends. They have a lot of the same kind of tricks. So
That YOLO flip.
the YOLO flip.
Hashtag
yes.
YOLO. But, of course, iPod was the first one to land it in a competition play, and he landed it last night, and Shaun White tried to answer him back with a YOLO flip of his own, but
and he fell just a little short, scraped his butt
Yeah.
on the land, and
go big or go home. That's the snowboarder's life motto.
yeah, I mean, and I was like, Shaun White had, if he didn't scrape, I think he would have won because he threw one more trick than Yuri did. And
Yeah.
he did land it, although it was a bit low, but he threw one more trick.
Yeah. He landed flat. I think if he didn't land flat, he would have at least gotten silver. I mean, at least gotten bronze. He would have gotten a medal, definitely. But I mean, it's a shame because everybody's especially in the snowboarding halfpipe. We had an opportunity to sweep the podium with Shaun White and Danny Davis and the other one I'm forgetting.
Yeah, he finished last, and he was the most critical of the half pipe.
Yeah.
So I find that he finished last, and he was the most critical of it. So he really didn't.
There's a lot of things that a lot of people are critical.
But he could have also said that because he finished last again.
He
Yeah.
was critical of it from day one there.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. And so women's hockey played Canada today.
Controversial game, I think.
The score was 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
Canada scored 3 in the third period.
Yeah.
One of their 3 goals was controversial, according to Evan.
The second goal, the whistle blew before it crossed the line, and they went to replay, and they still ruled it a goal. I don't agree with the call, but it is what it is.
Yep, it is what it is.
I mean, this was not an elimination game, so
Yeah, it was qualifying.
they both already clinched a spot into the semis, I believe.
Yeah.
So USA is going up against Finland, I believe, on Monday.
The finish. That's women's hockey.
Yeah, women's hockey.
Of course, men's hockey's just starting. They're back. They're not all the Olympians, but most of the Olympians who do play in the NHL. They had their last game Saturday, so they're back. They practiced with their teams for a little bit. Now they're back. The first game is
right now, I believe.
That's about a half hour. Starting at noon. Starting
Yeah.
at noon. So and that's Sweden and
The Czechs.
the Czechs.
And the Czech, and there's also Latvia and the Swiss
Yes.
playing at the same time.
Of course, for all you New York Ranger fans on campus, Sweden, of course, has that handsome goalie, Henrik Lundqvist. Oh, my God, he's so handsome. I'm sorry. But he's so good looking.
This is the Devils in me.
And speaking of the Devils, Jaromir Jagr is on the Czech
Jagr.
team. He's
First line, too.
He's 42 years young. He already has an Olympic gold medal back in 1988. Little background on him. He was drafted in
88.
1998. I'm sorry.
I was going to say
apologize.
88 is
I
a
apologize.
long way.
But
He was like 14 when he played in the 88.
He I think he has one gold though.
Yeah.
He has 1 gold back with the Czech in 1998. I apologize. He was drafted in 1990. And of course he has a Stanley Cup and an MVP. So he's got a well-decorated career, and I would hope so if he's still playing at 42 years old.
And I think he's got a couple more years left in him.
And I think he thinks that too. So
He looks good out there.
yeah, he does. He's one of the best right wings in the league right now. He's leading.
Leading the Devils.
He's leading the Devils in almost.
That's not very hard to do.
Yeah,
I don't
but
score much,
still, of course, he's dishing out those assists. He's moving up on the total points, all-time
assists,
ranks,
goals, all-time
points. I mean, it's
he's a legend.
oh yeah, definitely. And of course, his home country will love to have him back in the Czech uniform for this 2014 Olympics. Of course, you got Russia, who's a powerhouse with Ovechkin and Kovalchuk, former. Yep, Kovalchuk went to the Russian league. He was in the NHL last year.
Yeah. Retired abruptly.
Yeah,
From NHL
and then went to the KHL, which is the Russian league. It's KHL, right?
KHL.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, they're quite stacked. Of course, Russians.
One of the favorites.
Yeah, Russia. They're very proud on their hockey, so they're looking for gold or nothing
Yeah.
here in this Olympics at home.
Especially at home. So I mean,
Yeah.
Russia has a lot of pressure on them right now. And
Yeah.
That I hope they can deal with it, but I don't think they'll win gold.
they have to compete against Canada.
They do. They do have to compete against Canada.
Well,
And you look at how many NHL players are on each team, and you got America with 25, you got Canada with 25, you got Sweden with 24. Is there another one that's over 20? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Is it Russia?
But Russia's at 16.
No,
Russia's
at
got
16.
about 10 less than the front runners, but they're still one of the favorites, and part of that is because, one, they do have their home advantage, but they also have the KHL, which is easily the second best hockey league in the world.
Is it Sweden that has over 20?
It might be Sweden.
I think Sweden has 24, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so I had no idea. Slovakia actually surprised me with the amount of NHL players they have on their team.
Yeah.
I think they have, I think it was 16 or so? I think we
They
said.
had a good number.
Yeah.
That was surprising to me. I only knew about Chara at first.
Oh, yes, he, of course, held the flag for Sweden when they... Oh, no, Czechoslovakia when they came in on the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
The Canadian team, of course, led by Sidney Crosby. They also have Jeff Carter, who's a standout player for the LA Kings. Pretty much name a hockey player. He's Canadian, and he's on the team.
Their team is just unbelievably stacked.
I believe Carey Price got the nod for the opening for the first game.
He beat out Roberto Luongo for that spot.
Luongo's going
Wow.
to start the second game, I read as well. For the American side, though,
Jonathan Quick getting the nod.
Jonathan Quick getting the nod for the goalie. Ryan Miller, of course, he was the hero for the Americans. I mean, maybe not hero because
he was the hero.
he was.
He was the hero.
Yeah,
he played unbelievable.
He was fantastic in Vancouver. Of course, the U.S. won silver in that incredible gold medal game against
from Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
That won it.
in Canada. You couldn't have wrote it.
That was honestly
Yeah.
one of my favorite hockey games
Yeah,
that
me
I've
too.
ever watched.
That was-
I was on the edge of my seat, just
was-
going nuts. And they pulled the goalie like 4 different times.
Yeah.
Had an extra attacker in there, and we're just firing shots at Ryan Miller, just over and over, and he was just saving them all until, of course, Sidney Crosby finally hit that one.
From the corner, that angle.
I
Yeah,
know.
but that's what Sidney Crosby does. He shoots these crazy shots and gets them into
I think
a space.
It took Miller by surprise, and
Yeah.
I mean,
I did not see that.
but
kind of goal.
I was very happy for Canada when that happened.
They're at their home. They deserve it.
Yep, and of course another American, Zach Parise, who was a hero in that last gold medal game as well,
Yeah,
getting
he
the
got
game-tying
Tying goal, yes.
goal. Yeah, so former Devil, but now he's on the Minnesota Wild. I believe.
Former Devils coming up.
Yeah, a lot of former Devils. He's the captain of the American team, if I'm correct, which I am. So, and 25-man roster, all 25 for Canada and all 25 for the U.S. They're in the NHL, the best hockey league in the world.
League. I mean, if you look at all the NHL players that play on the national teams, you can just see how dominant the NHL is from every other league out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when you got a guy Ryan Getzlaf for the Anaheim Ducks, Corey Perry, of course, another Duck. I'm assuming Getzlaf is behind Crosby on the first line. Yeah, he's what, the second line?
He's got to be.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, he's same position.
Center. He's definitely the second line center.
Yeah.
I mean, and that just speaks for itself.
I know, it's
You
incredible.
have 4 lines with normal number one centers.
If Getzlaf is behind Sidney Crosby, that'd be an amazing second line. Those are the 2 leading point scorers in the NHL right now.